People are still trickling in. I just want to do a quick check. Am I audible to the people at the back? Yeah, I can't hear. Am I audible to the people at the back? Okay, great. So today is a special day for many reasons. Today is the Teachers' Day. And when I was coming here to talk about, what are the trends in packaging, there's a rule of thumb which is there, which is to say, for every slide that you have, one should be prepared to speak for about 3 minutes. So for a 20-minute presentation, it makes sense to have then 6 slides. But I know that audiences like facts, like data, etc. So actually, I have more slides. Those slides are available to, the participants if they would want. I'm going to go through about 15 of those slides in less than 1 minute each. And there are literally 2 slides where I would spend more time of the 3 minutes to get to the 20 minutes that we were talking about. So as we think about the future trends in packaging, sometimes it is important to reflect on the past before we start thinking about the future. So if one looks at, and I've gone back close to 8,000 years. If we go back, there are different elements of packaging than one can think of. Historically, was it animal skins, leaves, etc.? The first time that one sees the presence of glass is in about 4,500 years back, and then paper, metal, plastics came in the last couple of 100 years. But I think there one thing which is important as we think about the future is the rate of pace of change. The rate of pace of change is obviously keeps
Great to see all of you. For someone like me to go through the last 2.5 years, and I think it applies to most of you, where we could not meet face to face. I mean, this is fantastic. And I would, request everyone to put their hands together to thank Nidhi for doing this. Great. And it's good to be introduced by a legend like Ajit Singh. Thank you, Ajit. And I'm sure people may be possibly relieved that I don't have any slides. But I did scratch down some things, some thoughts I had. On the situation today. And here I am addressing, first and foremost, the conversion industry, so the converters, flexible packaging, and it includes other materials being converted. And, what are the potential, first and foremost, and very important pitfalls, along with certain simple facts. But before I start, every year I have said something, and I think it's very important after 3 years to emphasize this again to all of you. You all are extremely important to this country because you are packaging professionals. And packaging is the one industry which impacts the widest sectors, the widest range of industry sectors. In fact, its impact is only after power and water. And fuel, of course, but that is power. So, everything is packaged. Nothing moves without packaging. And it saves lives. It enables us to live, actually. And you guys are doing a great job, but you need to do it better. We need to keep improving. Because over the millennium of...
between an excellent lunch and and I'm the one who's keeping you from it. So I'll quickly start with two caveats. I was feeling a little out of place with this very, very esteemed panel because I don't have two things that they have. I don't have the grey suit nor the grey hair. But the grey hair is a function of a good dye. It's nothing to do with these things. So I'm Somnath, Chatterjee, head procurement and logistics for ITC's foods business. And I'm a learner in this packaging space. I've just started handling procurement of packaging and learning the ropes. However, I have 30 years of FMCG experience. And I'm going to talk to you today not about packaging, but I'm going to talk to you about FMCG. And sir, I have a little disagreement with the perspective that you gave us. It is not gloom and doom. And let me try and talk up the Josh in this room by sharing a little bit on FMCG demand, which we have been finding to be very robust. In fact, now the word startup has become very famous. But back in 2002-03, we were like a startup, ITC's foods business. So while we had a lot of experience with tobacco, etc., but in this space, we were babies. I remember having joined ITC from Nestle when their turnover was about, 380 odd crores, ITC Foods. And our laminate by that month, I think, was about, 52 tons. And from there, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful journey of 17, 18 years where we have hit 17,000 crores run rate. And last month, I bought 4,012 tons of laminate. So that has been very, very encouraging. Now,
very good morning to everybody. The topic given to me is the role of private equity in sparking growth explosion in flexible packaging industry. Actually, the context was set by Nilesh in the morning about the private equity investment itself as to what is happening in the country today. So therefore, my job became a little easier in that sense. Having said this, the private equity in India was started in the early 90s by the Technology Development and Information Company. Thereafter, in the mid-90s, the foreign PE and venture capital funds came into the country. 2000 saw emergence of Indian private equities, and thereafter in the currently, the global private equities and generics are very heavily investing into the country. In terms of, there are over 300 number of players in the industry, private equity industry today, with over 7,000 transactions conducted in the last decade. And the deal size has gone from 1 million to 35 million per deal. Financial services and IT were the prominent sectors that attracted private equity investment. However, the consumer sector became the favorite post-2010, particularly with the advent of e-commerce. Many Indian promoters also became open to private equity investment, particularly to get exit, to professionalize their operations and the company, to attract talent, to grow the business. The packaging sector is about $50 billion turnover.